I do not understand Mr. Giuliani's motives for attacking me, nor can I offer an opinion on whether he believed the allegations he spread about me. Mr. Giuliani should have known those claims were suspect, coming as they reportedly did from individuals with questionable motives and with reason to believe that their political and financial ambitions would be stymied by our anti-corruption policy.
There's an important question at the time of that testimony, the question that was asked there during the first impeachment of Donald Trump. The question obviously worth revisiting today in light of the FBI's search of Rudy Giuliani's Manhattan apartment and office. Did Rudy Giuliani commit a crime when he coordinated with Ukrainian oligarchs to remove Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch from her post as the ambassador there she just described? In truth, Giuliani has been a known commodity to the U.S. intelligence community for that scandal and others since. He was a central player in both impeachments of Donald Trump and a focus of scrutiny following his call for a, quote, trial by combat the night before the day of the January 6th insurrection. Joining our conversation now is Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff of California, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. He led that first impeachment trial of the former president. You don't often get to differentiate between the different impeachments of just one-term president, but here we are. And we should say that we knew we had the chance to talk to you before we knew that Rudy Giuliani's home would be searched. So I know we're here to talk about bigger and better things, but first, your reaction to that raid.
Well, I guess what is disturbing to me is if there was probable cause to believe that there was evidence of a crime at the Giuliani's business or home last year and Bill Barr's Justice Department wouldn't do anything about it, it's another indication of politicization at the very top of the Justice Department. We know that other decisions on sentencing, for example, with Roger Stone, or even dismissing whole cases against Mike Flynn, were made on the basis of politics by Bill Barr. And this appears to be yet another example. But I'm delighted to see that under the new leadership of that department, decisions will once again be made equally under the law. Everyone will be treated the same under the law. No one will be given the pass. No one will be pursued for political reasons. And I think Merrick Garland has exactly the right background for that approach.
I mean, I had the same sort of thoughts, and I pulled this article from the Washington Post last June 2020. Attorney General William Barr said Saturday that President Trump had fired the top federal prosecutor in New York, ending an unprecedented standoff between Barr and U.S. Attorney Geoffrey Berman, who had resisted being removed from his post. We never really learned exactly why, and this was botched. I mean, the standoff was because Barr tried to fire him himself, failed at that effort because he didn't have set authority, got Trump to do it for him, in an odd sort of inverse of that working relationship. But do you have questions about what might have been quashed under Barr in terms of other investigations that we don't know about?
Certainly, and I think that the concern at the time was that that Berman was being dispatched in a way to cripple investigations that were going on in his office. And I think they also may have tried to replace his number two. And the way that ended up getting resolved is his number two ended up taking over the office, at least for a period of time. But this case may have been one of those that he was concerned would be made to go away. There are continuing questions about that, as well as about other investigations that under the Barr Justice Department were fast-tracked. Andy McCabe, for example, the investigation into him was put on a fast track by the Inspector General so that he could be sanctioned before his pension fully vested. Those kind of things just bring the department under ill repute. And no doubt Merrick Garland will have a lot of cleaning up to do.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.